That one hurt the most!
I'll be honest, guys, these first few months of 2025 have been rough for movie releases. Outside of everybody wanting to take shots at Brave New World, there just hasn't been a lot to talk about when it comes to new releases. But with award season officially over and spring finally on the way, thank God, there are finally some new releases to talk about. This past weekend alone, we got 4, including what could be early contenders for best and worst of the year, but we'll get to those later. First up, we've got Novocaine, an action comedy starring Jack Quaid. The story sees Quaid as Nathan Kane, an awkward bank manager with the rare but very real generic disorder called SEPA, which makes it impossible for him to feel pain. Jack spends most of his time trying to keep a low profile, but is brought out of his shell by Amber Midthunder's bank teller, Sherry. But just as the two start up a relationship, their bank gets robbed and the thieves kidnap Sherry, prompting Nate to go on a mission to save her. And because of the whole can't feel pain thing, he's able to fight his way through situations that would stop most people in their tracks. I'll admit this is my first movie from directors Dan Burke and Robert Olson. A quick glance at their work shows that they mostly do horror stuff, and honestly, you can kinda tell with this. See, the first thing they establish is that while having SEPA might seem like a superpower at first, it would actually totally suck to have. Just because you can't feel pain doesn't mean your body is immune to the consequences. This isn't a healing factor. So everything from eating solid foods to banging your leg on the corners of a desk are still potential threats, even if you can briefly shrug off taking a bullet. I'd say the most impressive aspect, other than Quaid fitting right in as an action-leading man, is how Burke and Olsen managed to mash together a bunch of different tones into something cohesive. We've got an offbeat romantic comedy, a brutal action film, slapstick, and outright body mutilation, but it never feels like a jumbled mess. The big reasons why are that it's never mean-spirited, we stay rooting for Nate the entire time, and it never takes itself too seriously. I'll give an example. There's a moment about 30 minutes into the film. Nate has already started pursuing the robbers, several people are already dead, and police detectives roll up to the bank to find out what happened with the robbery. But then one of them turns out to be comedian Matt Walsh, and you realize that if not for the gore, this could easily be playing on Comedy Central or Adult Swim. And what brings it all home is Ray Nicholson as the main bad guy, bringing the perfect over-the-top campy performance this kind of film needs. I know it's a little cliche to invoke his father, but you can definitely see shades of Jack every time Ray starts hamming it up. He's just now starting to catch on in Hollywood, and I really hope to see him in more stuff. My complaints are fairly minor. It's just under 2 hours, easily could have been cut down to 90. Jacob Batalon doesn't really get much to do, and I'm not sure if the twist regarding Sherry was entirely needed. The film is openly pushing back against certain damsel in distress tropes with her, but then still plays out the same way as if she was the helpless victim. Also, you cast the woman who went one-on-one with a predator and won, and yet she doesn't get any action scenes. That's a weird choice. Novocaine is far from perfect, but I'm a sucker for action films that have a good hook, and this feels like someone took the best versions of Love Hurts and Companion and smashed them together. And after what 2025 has offered us so far, I'll gladly take it. Give it a look, and I'll see you guys next time.